in, Fontaine, a shot, they score! Northeastern is going to the national title game.
Our 2021 men's outdoor track and field champion.
Alley-oop, Telford flushes with two.
Jordan Harris gives Northeastern the lead.
Hanging, hitting, Kendall Currents again.
Left-footed shot to Les!
Beginning their careers at Notre Dame, Chris Doherty and Nicola Jogo quickly established a close friendship. Now teammates once again at Northeastern, the pair have picked up where they left off, providing instant chemistry and an unrelenting team-first mindset. With a bond that extends beyond basketball, their sense of humor and mutual respect for one another translates to success on and off the court.
First time we met, so I was already at Notre Dame. I've been there for, I think it was 2 years, and then I was a junior and Chris came in as a freshman at Notre Dame, so we got to know each other there.
Lived in the same dorm too, Fisher Hall. It was not a pleasant place. It was built in like the 40s.
Me and Chris are both very unselfish basketball players, and we kind of have the same view of how basketball should be played. And I kind of got that sense right when he got to Notre Dame, where he was able to make passes out of the post. He was a very unselfish player in all aspects of the game, which I appreciated. And I think after, the first couple of weeks of playing together, I was like, I definitely think, we'll get along strictly because of how we view basketball together. So.
And then like off the court, I think you just tend to gravitate towards people that you have similar interests to and whatnot. And me and Nick have a lot of similar interests, so that's just how it worked out.
Me and Chris both have kind of like a raunchy sense of humor, and sometimes like it can be considered like inappropriate or whatever the case may be, but we feed off it with each other, and we can go back and forth, where some people, you say something to them and they take it the wrong way, or they get quiet, where me and Chris can no matter what time of the day it is, if I come at Chris, he is always coming back at me. He'll never just sit back, and I kind of, it's a good little bond to have.
Walters gives it up, Doherty!
Chris obviously is a Massachusetts kid, played high school ball out of Marlboro High School. Tried to convince him to stay home coming out of high school, but he had a terrific opportunity at Notre Dame and went out there. When he became available, in the transfer portal, we immediately jumped on it and thought this would be a great fit. He's a hardworking young man. He's got tremendous upside. He's got tremendous heart and determination. It was just a very fortunate opportunity for us.
Personally, for me, I wanted to get away I'm from Massachusetts, so I wanted to experience something different. I quickly realized once you get out there, there's nothing like home, I guess. So when I entered the transfer portal, I knew I wanted to come back closer to the Northeast. And I knew I had a relationship with Coach Cohen and Manny and everything. So I kind of always wanted to come back here.
Nick's another young man we recruited out of high school. He officially visited us, had a great visit. Loved the situation. We developed a good relation with him and his high school coach. But he had an opportunity to go to Notre Dame, and when his career kind of wound down there, he was looking for a fresh start, a different role, more responsibilities. Kind of led to Northeastern. With both these young men, we missed out on the first time around, but we, really, really grateful that we finally got an opportunity to coach them.
Nice bounce to Doherty, up and under for two.
Having chemistry in the locker room is really, really important. And we assumed that they were great friends, but we wanted to make sure we checked in with them, and they both came back with a resounding, that's my boy. So they were very, very familiar with each other. They had a pre-existing relationship, which was really, really positive, and ended up being roommates here at Northeastern. So it worked out really great.
It's tough when you're going somewhere for only 1 year. You want to go to a place where you kind of feel somewhat familiarity, and I felt that with Coach Cohen and Chris, and I knew some of the Canadians on the team, so it was a good place to go where I'd have an elevated role, but also not be a completely new environment because I was used to some of the people and coaches that I've already known from the past.
Chris, he was my roommate last year. He's one of the most positive people I've been around, so ever since I met him, it's just been a great time, honestly. And Nick, he joined me and Chris this year, and Nick, he's a smart guy, he's intelligent, and he's great to be around as well. And I think all three of us, when we're together out hanging out, it's always a great time. They definitely have chemistry. It's really like brothers, so I can tell that right off the bat.
I think when you watch them play, you can see a natural chemistry. They both look for each other on the court. They have a good sense of where the other teammate is on the court. You know, of course, they want to get out and compete, and they want to be the best player they can be, but it's also great to be an elite teammate, and those two guys exemplify that.
Anytime Chris really gets hyped up on the court, it comes from a place of good intent. He cares so much about basketball, about us, that he just gets so fired up all the time. And I think that passion translates to us as a team, and we could use that.
Chris is the guy that does everything no one else is willing to do. He'll go out there, play 30 minutes a game, doesn't care if he scores. He'll always play hard, rebound the hell out of the ball, find guys, do all the dirty work that's necessary for a team to win. And you can see the difference when he's on the court versus off the court. And you can see his progression every single year from when he started playing till now.
With Nick, you didn't get to see all the skill set he had, and now you're starting to see it. And you can realize the kind of player he is. I think he's a tremendous player, and he's been a big part of our team.
So here's Jogo and one.
They've been a big part of everything we've accomplished so far to this date. And, you know, if we're going to expect to compete for a CAA championship, we're going to need both those guys to play at a really high level. And I think that's what they signed up for. They're meeting that challenge. So, you know, they come to practice every day. They work hard. They're all about team first, you know, and their friendship is really admirable.
Tales of the Howlin Huskies is presented by City of Boston Credit Union, the official credit union of Northeastern Athletics.
I've been doing this a long time. We're better when we're working together. I did not come to Northeastern years ago because I thought it was going to be easy. None of these young people do either. We come here to be great, and we come here for Northeastern. We'll overcome again, together. That's what makes us Huskies. We're Northeastern. We got this together.
A former Husky track star and a passionate educator, Lisa Markland recently made her return to Northeastern as the new Associate Athletic Director for Leadership, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Lisa brings a breadth of experience working with organizations focused on social justice, community engagement, and student-athlete development. Her hire is a significant step forward for the department as it continues to support student-athletes in all aspects of their Northeastern experience.
The recent hiring of Lisa Markland as the Associate AD for Leadership, Diversity, and Equity and Inclusion, for me, is a tremendous hire, not just in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, but also in the leadership space, and they all go together. Lisa's a former student athlete at Northeastern. She ran track, very successful track athlete here. She worked in the Center of Sport and Society for many years. She has educated many of our student athletes. She has taught and trained students, both here at Northeastern and outside of Northeastern, in the Mentors in Violence Prevention Program, and now in the social justice space. And she is going to come in here and provide our athletics department, as well as integrate with the university, opportunities where we can help educate all our students in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. And she's a Husky. She bleeds red, white, and black and wants to be here, and we're thrilled to have her.
I believe it first came to fruition during a lot of the social justice conversations throughout the COVID timeframe. The student athletes had a lot of strong feelings and were super involved in what was going on. And so when it came time for the athletes to feel like they needed their voices heard, or when it came time for administration to figure out how do we address the needs of our students, when the students were looking for ways and avenues in which they could communicate their needs and their feelings, that is when we just realized that there was a voice missing. And I thought Lisa was great because having seen her work with Sport and Society, Team Impact, and coach, I knew she had the personality traits, one of a leader, but also was someone who was incredibly empathetic and someone who was just really passionate about diversity, equity, inclusion, equality, all of the areas that we're looking to continue to grow and just strengthen ourselves as a department.
I got a phone call from Tremaine Shaw, and she asked me to have a conversation with Regina. And Regina told me about this wonderful opportunity that had come to Northeastern for this specific position. Of course, being around athletes, which is my love, to be around them again and have those conversations, I agreed to come back to my alma mater, place that I love. I think it was something that our athletes wanted because they're having the conversations, and just to have this position here allows for that to continue.
The first word in this title is leadership, and she speaks to leadership. She takes command of a situation. She's not afraid of having, uncomfortable conversations. She does a great job in eliciting comments and feedback from students who might not be comfortable in the subject matter. But it's her presence, her disposition that can secure those types and garner those types of conversations and comments that allows people to be safe in the environment and in the conversation, the dialogue that she's having. And then it's about bringing people together. She's a consensus builder, and she can speak to student athletes as a group, and she can drive conversations and get people to understand not just the small picture, but the larger picture of an idea and an agenda item. We want to make sure our student athletes have someone that they can go to when they have some challenging times or issues that they might want to address.
One of the things we said to administration was we don't see representation within any part of athletics really, besides like coaches and a few of our athletes. So they did a great job of listening to us and kind of making this position for her. The only thing I can really say is I love Lisa. I think she brings a great energy to Northeastern. She's absolutely amazing. She's really easy to talk to. I think a lot of the students are just really happy to have her here. Lisa can definitely help being a representative on our behalf, especially having a seat at the table with administration and kind of just speaking on behalf of us, or kind of giving that different perspective, not only as a woman, but as a Black woman, and also as an alumni who used to be a student athlete. So I think she kind of is able to draw a parallel between all these different worlds that she was once in and now sits at a higher seat with administration and kind of speak on our behalf.
My goal is to continue to bring us together. I want to continue to have the conversations with staff, coaches, administrators, and athletes to allow them to feel empowered, the athletes to feel empowered to utilize their voice on a bigger scale around these issues that have been challenged, where maybe they have not felt that they could use their voices in the way they're using them now. And so I'm just a support to that, but also to help staff and coaches figure out a way how to talk about these issues that are going on.
Score! Aaron Senyuva's first career goal.
To Currents, that's 3.
Fontaine to the middle, one-timer, they score! It's Maureen Murphy!
Here's Stuka, and he slams it down and one! Here's Steve! Oh, Savage with a big stop!
Miller is holding on. It's going to be tight at the finish. Miller got her. Jenkins right down the line.
1, 2, 3, Huskies!
Entering the 2021-22 season, Northeastern named 3 first-time head coaches to lead the men's hockey, women's basketball, and men's rowing programs. For head coaches Jerry Keefe, Bridgette Mitchell, and Justin Jones, the opportunity is the next step in each of their personal journeys and careers. Now with the next wave of leaders in place, the future is bright for Northeastern athletics.
What excites me about the 3 new coaches is their passion for the game, their passion and zest for life, and they're committed to their student athletes. They're committed to making their student athletes better. They're committed to developing the whole student athlete and making sure that student athlete has a tremendous experience while here at the university.
And Fontaine scores to win it for Northeastern in overtime.
I was fortunate enough 10 years ago to be able to attract Coach Keefe and his family to Northeastern, and he's been more than ready for this opportunity. For me, it was an easy choice and who was going to be the next head coach of our men's ice hockey program.
I've always been a rink rat. I've always loved being around the game. Even as a player, I was a guy that I was fortunate to have really good coaches growing up. So for me, I always wanted to get into coaching when I finished playing, and being at Northeastern was my ultimate goal. That was my dream job. Loved working with Coach Madigan, just being part of this program and the culture here and being a piece to that. For me, it was all about being here at Northeastern and hopefully getting that opportunity to be a head coach, and I was fortunate it happened this year. Culture is something that we talk about all the time. It starts with recruiting the right players, the right types of kids. You obviously want talented hockey players, but you want to make sure you're bringing in kids that are here for the right reasons, that want to be culture drivers. We've done a good job doing that. We want to be a program that the entire university and alums can be proud of. Not just the wins and losses, but the people that are part of the program.
And now a great cut and look, and one.
When I first met Brigitte, right away you see passion, right? I mean, she's got a lot of energy, passion, the commitment to our student athletes and wanting to be the best and pushing our student athletes for success. Her leadership skills and qualities and characteristics are showing right away.
I grew up in the inner city of Trenton, New Jersey, as a single mother, and she instilled toughness in me, that sense of drive and resiliency. I was that teammate that was going to play for forever. Like, I was going to play until my sneakers had holes, till the ball deflated, and that's just what I was going to be. And then with coaching, I've just been passionate about mentoring the youth. You know, I had my first coaching clinic opportunity when I had a free clinic in Trenton, New Jersey for underprivileged girls. Representation matters, and them seeing me, and they were just like, man, you did this, you did that, I can do it too. You're from Trenton, me too. And so that just really sparked that interest for me in terms of coaching. Having that opportunity to do those clinics and getting my first opportunity to coach as an assistant really was just like a moment for me where I was just like, wait, I can do this. I can really do this. And so put my head down and continue to work hard. And then God opened a door for me with the opportunity here at Northeastern that I don't take for granted, and I value it a great deal. The young women on the team work extremely hard, and I want them to showcase those abilities in front of the world. Getting out in the community and interacting with them really establishes that culture that we want to establish of us being exciting to watch, enjoying, and being relatable.
Legs in suspense. Pull up. Let's go, Huskies.
The first appearance is that he committed. He's got passion. There's a lot of structure. There's an intensity to him. He came in and just said, hey, here's my vision for the program. It's been interesting to watch him lead the young man, connect with our alumni, and he understands process and culture, which are really important, I think, to being successful.
It's a little bit surreal that maybe 10 or 11 years after I started rowing here, now I'm in the position of leadership that I'm in, but it's obviously very special just to get this opportunity. When it really crystallized for me that this was an opportunity that I wanted to try to sink my teeth into was when I was promoted up to be the interim head coach. And steering this team through the spring season that we had, some of the ups and downs, some of the really significant successes, it was that moment where I was like, okay, this is, I want this, I'm ready for it. I mean, I could go on and on just about how there's no better job than one's alma mater. I want to see Northeastern finish first. You know, I want to see our guys just maximize their potential and have a distinctive experience here. So for that reason, it's not just a job for me, it really is a lifestyle in a way that I think coaching elsewhere just wouldn't be able to fulfill. We are trying to be on the cutting edge competitively, and I think that with the plan we've got, the people we're bringing into the program, I think we're going to get there.
It excites me to see the student athletes and the type of program they're going to run here over the next few years. They've all had some success, and now it's just a continuum of their season, their progress. And for me, it's where's the program going to continue to elevate itself over the next few years? And I'm excited to watch that elevation and to watch the success.
My name is Tremaine Shaw, and I'm the head coach of the cross country and track and field programs at Northeastern University. I cannot stress enough how important it is for female athletes to be given the supports, to be given the opportunities. I was really impressed by the commitment City of Boston Credit Union has made to female student athletes. The more exposure that's given, the more young women will be influenced to continue down this path.
City of Boston Credit Union, today's teammates, tomorrow's leaders.
It's a hockey-defining moment. Many hear the call, only a few ever answer it. But those who do Vow to bravely defend the world's smallest kingdom, the 24 square feet of a hockey net. Every time you go in net, so do we.
Alone, I'm the last line of defense.
I am the difference. We are in net.
Tales of the Howlin Huskies is presented by City of Boston Credit Union, the official credit union of Northeastern Athletics. Poised to make another deep postseason run this year, the Northeastern women's hockey team prides themselves on a gritty, hard-working identity. This mindset is represented through the team's Grit Award, a recognition following each game for the player who best exemplifies a gritty performance on the ice. Prior to this season, the team chose to put a new spin on the award, using the jacket of U.S. Air Force veteran and longtime Matthews Arena employee Jake Negrati. A passionate supporter of athletics, Jake has formed a special bond with the team over the years.
The Grit Award came about, I think it was the 17-18 season. About midway through the year, myself and the rest of the coaching staff, we talked and didn't like the way we were playing as far as we weren't playing with a lot of grit. We had a lot of skilled players, but we weren't playing, I felt, as hard as we could have. So we came up with this award, and the first year we actually used a t-shirt with the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, and the coaches would decide after a game who gave the grittiest performance. And it's not necessarily somebody that, made an amazing play or anything. It's somebody that maybe won a battle along the boards and got the puck out of the defensive zone at a critical point. They blocked a big shot. Jake had actually approached my associate head coach, asked how we could incorporate his Air Force jacket. So we talked about it as a staff briefly and decided that would be great for the team to be able to have that as their gritty award.
Jake is a super special person. You can tell that by the minute you first start talking to him, and he cares a lot about our team. We know that through the effort he puts on and off the ice for us. And just the fact that he gave us his Air Force jacket is so meaningful and just kind of shows the bond that we have with him, and we really appreciate him.
I think the award builds the team culture by getting everybody on the same page as far as expectations and what we need to do to be successful. And, it just rallies the team. It gives them something to focus on, and it's a big part of our success and our team identity.
The kind of never being satisfied and always needing to be gritty mindset is something that we really hold in high regards on our team, because we know that if we don't work hard, anyone can beat anyone on any night. The team dynamic surrounding the jacket, everyone is so proud and works their hardest to win it. That's a great accomplishment to feel, and everyone, after you win the jacket, people come up to you, give you a hug, everyone celebrates you, and it's a great feeling to win it, and I think that's something that everyone competes with each other to fight for.
Everyone in the locker room wants to win the Gritty Award, and it shows more than just scoring goals for us. It shows the grit and the passion towards our team. We have a really, really talented team this year, and regardless of your job is to score goals, if it's to, be the shot blocker, each role that's given is significant and just as important as, the things that do end up on the scoreboard. So when there's an award like this that's given out to those type of plays, it really brings up a lot of spirits throughout the team.
Having the jacket just shows that someone did stand out today, and being that person, your hard work in that game is rewarded, and it just shows that your teammates acknowledge you, your coaches acknowledge the work that you put in. It's not going unnoticed. Even if you didn't necessarily show up on the score sheet, you made a huge difference in the game. Getting that jacket the first game was a huge honor for me. It made me feel part of the team. It reminded me of my role on the team. I can make a difference by just being tough out there and being hard to play against.
It was definitely an honor winning Jake's award this past weekend against Merrimack. Sitting in the locker room, just hearing Coach Flint go into, he kind of gives a little rundown of how the person earned the award and what kind of went into the thought process behind picking each person each week. And so just hearing him acknowledge the 2 penalties I drew in that game as being really gritty acts that might not get awarded on the score sheet, and having those really show and be appreciated through Jake's jacket was just an unbelievable feeling and a total honor. I find pride in honing in on the gritty aspect of my game, and I like to bring that to the table when I do get a chance.
It's so important to keep that mentality because, it's a long season. When you've been successful, You're getting everybody's best effort. Everybody wants to knock you off, and you can't just show up and expect to win games. You got to compete, you got to battle, you got to have that grit. And if you can't do it consistently, it's tough to win consistently. I've seen in the past the teams that have the most grit, that work the hardest, that compete all three zones, they're the teams that are the most successful ones at the end of the season.